Hi friends, MD Vegan. Today is my gentle juice fasting day. I do that once a week and on and on and on. And fasting is, by definition, reducing calories. You eat less, basically, and digestion rests. That means you don't put fiber into yourself. You don't eat fiber. It's part of the food that is not digestible, so the digestion has to work and separate it. In the fasting time, you don't do that. You put only things into yourself that don't need to be digested, that go directly into the bloodstream, for example. There are many ways to fast, but this is the main idea. Reducing calories over a certain time, begins with a day maybe. Some also have other ideas, but I think a day is the minimum. And then, I don't go into the details now, it's a long discussion, of course, very complicated. Research is not so long about fasting. It has not been taken seriously medically, but it begins more and more. There are great health benefits, that's clear, but the research has to be done more and more. There's long debates about what kind of fasting, and so I don't go into that now. Yeah, but basically that's what it is. If I resume the research and what they know so far, yeah, so one day is the minimum. I would say. Yeah, there are different opinions. Okay, but that's my opinion. Okay, after reading all that, I'm not a scientist, and then reducing the calories over a day and putting digestion to rest. Yeah. So when that happens, when you have both, then the metabolism, how you get energy, how we get energy from the food, that changes a little bit. Different kinds of substances are burned to get energy. Usually we burn mostly sugar in our cells, so fruit is the easiest food for that. Yeah, you get the sugar that burns in the cells, and that gives you energy from the food. But on a fasting day, it turns around a little bit. Ketones are burned. When the body runs on low energy, gets less, another more efficient mechanism turns up. That is the ketosis. It's a special mode to get energy more efficiently from ketones. Ketones are a small kind of molecule that can be burned very efficiently, and that cleanses the body also. That is also a very complicated chemical process and so on. I don't go into that either, but that's what happens in the fast that makes it special, the fasting, and it's very good, it's healthy, and it cleanses the body, and it has been part of our culture forever, because humans did not have food every day usually. Animals don't have that either. Usually, most of the time, they have something to eat, and then over some time they don't have something to eat, and so they have to fast. Has been always there. Nowadays we have in many parts of the planet always food, and so the fasting becomes something almost artificial, but it has always been part of the culture. Yeah. And now they begin to research it and so on. Great health benefits. To me, it's one of the most important things of I do. I have a plant-based, whole food plant-based diet. That is the most important thing maybe. Then I practice, I do my exercise every day. I practice a yoga style, tree yoga on the flow. That's very effective, it's very nice, a dancing way of yoga. Yeah, very nice to be in the flow, meditative and so. I do that every day. And the fasting here, this kind of fasting, so nice. And when you do it only one day, you don't need even to see a doctor. If you are healthy, you feel great, you don't even need to see a doctor. If you do it longer than a day, you might see a doctor or a medical professional, because something happens in the body that could also be harmful over a long period. And you don't even feel it immediately. So medical surveillance is recommended for longer a day. But for a day, anybody can do that. And if you are healthy, of course, yeah. Always understood, yeah. Average health understanding. So that said, I want to go to the how I fast here with this recipe. I make a juice fasting. That is the way I prefer. I have some nice, delicious juices I make myself, and I can always explore new ingredients, new combinations. I enjoy these new flavors, and the energy is great from these juices. They go directly to the bloodstream. They don't need to be digested, and then I feel so great. If I drink it slowly, of course, I have to drink a lot on a fasting day, because everything needs to be flushed out and washed, and water is so important. Water is a very important ingredient. If I don't have water, that's a whole different story. I don't do that. I drink water and juices and teas and everything, plant milks, even that. Everything can be part of the fasting, unless it has these fiber. That's what not part of the fasting usually. That's what cannot be digested. And fiber is in every plant. It's part of the plant. It keeps the fiber standing up, the plant standing up, the structure. And for example, here in a beet juice, I make a beet juice today. That's a large beet here, a red beet here. I prepared it for fasting because I have to cut it into small pieces. I have to wash it to cleanse it. Sometimes inside the beet there is some dirt. Also, that can happen. It's an earth plant. It grows a root under the earth. It's very powerful, and these earth flavors are intense and dense, and they're full of sugar. The beets are full of sugar. Carrots, by the way, too, full of sugar. And in the beet, you don't taste that sugar immediately. The sugar is hidden in the earth flavor, as I would express it, and you add a fruit to it. Today I have apples and pears, mainly. That's the main two ingredients to combine with the beet. The main fruit I add with the beet today, because you always need to add something to the beet, I would say. Others drink beet juice as is, but if I do that, the throat begins to scratch 20 minutes after drinking the pure beet juice, and then the plain beet juice, and then it takes for 2 hours or so to go away again. The oxalates in the beets, that is a heavy soluble salt, that can do this scratching, and it's not so good for the body too. It keeps the body from taking in nutrients and can build kidney stones, but not with the beet. Beet has only not too much of it. Spinach has a lot. But if you are a healthy vegan, if you have a plant-based, whole food plant-based diet, should never be a problem for you, unless you overdo it with the spinach. Spinach every day in huge amounts, even that can be a little bit much. But usually there's no problem for a healthy vegan. And here, the fruit, the pears and the apple, they make the beet really delicious. And you have no scratching. The first juice I made with beets that was really delicious was beet and pear. So this is the base of this recipe. I make a beet pear juice. Lots of pears, lots of beets. And today I add an apple to make something new. I add apple because I add celery. Celery is more like a seasoning, a celery stalk. A seasoning for juices. In traditional cooking, the seasoning, the celery is used as a seasoning for soups. Put it always in broth and so, and it's very tasty. It makes the soup more like earth-like, umami flavor, wholesome flavor. It's a little bit, tastes a little bit salty, a little bit like a strong earth flavor. Hard to describe. Celery is a very rough flavor, but it can be used as a seasoning for a juice too. I found out it makes a fascinating difference, because the sugar in the beet is very sweet. If you open it up with other fruits, as I do here, and then this earth flavor from the celery, it's really nice. It really makes it not so sugar sweet anymore. It makes it more interesting. I gotta try that. It's a little bit like a smoky tone. It's really nice. So that's where the celery comes in, just to vary the flavor from the beet and the pear a little bit. And the apple is usually something that fits very nice with the celery. Apple and celery is a good combination. Somehow it is, I would always begin with that. So that is the the main idea today, but there is one more main idea. It's a little bit complex juice today because I have the basil here. I have a bunch of basil. Basil is a wake-up herb. It's a very ancient herb from the mint family, from the Mediterranean area. There are many, many different green herbs, and they are among our healthiest food. And all these herbs from the mint family, they have different health benefits. Have been long time cultivated, and the basil is that wake up. Yeah, if you eat a stem of a basil, you chew it, you wake up. There's something in the basil that makes the brain light up and begin to wake up. So it's a very nice thing and has a very strong flavor. And it's also, it gives you, this flavor gives a new flavor to this beet or pear beet flavor. So as I said, the basic flavor is the pear and the beet. It's interesting, it's very nice and gentle flavor, sweet and delicious. A little bit of bitter is there from the pear, everything very nice. And then you add the basil. That is the combination, basil, pear, beet. That is the main flavor complex here, and the celery makes it a little bit more interesting, yeah, so to say. And then I have lemon and ginger. Lemon and ginger I use in many recipes just to boost the other flavors. Also very interesting plants here, or fruit here, the lemon and the ginger. The ginger is one of the most healthiest seasonings we have. It is used to add fire, as the Indians would say, fire to the food, and the fire opens up the other ingredients, the other nutrients, and allows the body to absorb more nutrients. So it makes the other ingredients more potent. Ginger is really like a magic wand. In many, many recipes it can boost the others and make it nice. And the lemon is antioxidant. That means it stops the other ingredients from decay. It's very good. It's freshening up a little bit. So these two together is a dream team to make the other ingredients more, better somehow, optimized, like a turbo, a booster. And here I have a little bit of a lemon peel ready to use it. I'm not sure if I will do that because it always depends on the flavor of the juice without. Because sometimes the juice is very strong and intense with the ginger, and the beet and the celery, strong flavors. And if you add more bitter from this lemon peel, it can be too much. But it can also be very fascinating. The lemon peel is the healthiest part of the lemon color, the yellow color. The most essential nutrients of the lemon are in the yellow color. So to have it is a nice to have, and if I can do it, I will do. So I'll try that while I juice it, and then I come back and tell you how much I used, and I'll show you what it tastes like, if I can. So in a moment I'll be back with the juice. That's my juice. It's 1 liter, and I used half of the lemon peel. Told you I would try between, and I tried it, and it was nice, but I thought not too much. So maybe half of the peel of 1 lemon is in that juice now. So the color, that's the first obvious thing, is beautiful. It's a beautiful red color. No wonder the beet always ends up with a red color. In anything you put beets in, it becomes red. That's very powerful. So beets is also very, very healthy. The colors are really one of the most important things in our food. Eat the rainbow, that's what smart doctors say, and with a good reason. Colors are nutrients and very powerful. So color is nice. Texture, it's creamy. It's a thick juice, oftentimes with beet, also with pear juices, they get thick and creamy. So that's expected. I like creamy juices. They feel more nutritious. Well, now let's taste it. Oh yeah, wonderful. Yeah, it's the most important thing at first is it tastes good. I like it first, and the second is because all the flavors in there are balanced. It's not one specific flavor that comes forward, is dominant. No, it's a nice combination, nice harmony of all the flavors in there. They are balanced, and I can, when I think of the, for example, I think of the basil. Yeah, it's there. I can see it. It's there. I can taste it. I can, and the lemon is there. Peel is there. The ginger is there. A little bit fire, not too much. Very nice. And yeah, of course the beet. Yes, but not scratching or something unpleasant. No, very nice. Fruity, sugary beet is there. And the pear and the apple are also there. Both are nicely balanced, not too much. I would say it's a perfect measurements here. When you look at the seasonings here, the measurements here, the containers here, I have shown you. Look at that. I would say this is a nice recommended portion, yeah, of the ingredients. And wow, it's nice. I show you what the juice looks like. I don't have precise measurements because of my method. Yeah, because I want to learn intuitive cooking. See, you see it's creamy and it's beautiful. Yeah, that's what you can see. So it's a nice thing. And intuitive cooking to me means I don't have precise measurements. I do it. I put the ingredients in as I feel it. And that I've always cooked like that, but I only had 10 recipes or so, and I could always change a little bit. And now I make new recipe every single day. Yeah. And I begin with very simple recipes with only 3 ingredients. That's the minimum to make it a little bit interesting. But I try to find a combination of 3 ingredients that is nice, that tastes great and is healthy. And then I do a next step and I change one ingredient, I add another one or 2 or so, and that way I proceed. So I have a nice understanding of the ingredients and how a recipe comes together, how a recipe is created. And before, when I was always a chef, yeah, in my life, at home, friends and so in university, I was always the chef. I'm not professional, but I always did that for others. I liked that a lot. And they liked my food, but I always had the same recipes, basically. And then I had no idea how they had been created. I had no idea. So when I found a new recipe, I never even wondered I always wondered how these recipes were created, but I had no clue. So I had to take them as they were. And when they were good, I was happy. Yeah, a new recipe. But now I create my own recipes, and I want to share how to do that for others too. You can create your own recipes if you begin with just a simple, easy combination of 2 or 3 ingredients, and then you find a way to make it more complex. Or the other way around, you can analyze a more complex recipe into the parts and so forth. That's very easy. But it takes time, of course. But every time I make a recipe, it is a good recipe. I like it. And then I publish it. And I can do that every day now because the method of take 3 is so working well, very well. And yeah, you see this. Yeah, so that is what I want to share today with you. The juicing is maybe the beginning of this method because not that I did it at first, but systematically I would say it's first because it's the most efficient way to get to know an ingredient because it goes into the system right away. I don't need to digest it. It goes directly in the bloodstream. And I have all the energy to process it, to feel it in the end. And that gives me a lot of space, a clear mind to be creative. That's the good part of the fasting. The cleansing can be a little bit unpleasant, can be a little bit of a draw. Yeah? It can be a little bit a challenge. But once the first cleansing, the most important cleansing is done, it becomes more and more easy. But to begin with, the gentle juice fasting method, what we do here, is always easy. It's always pleasant. It's always delightful. That's why I use these juices, because it's a delight. They taste great. It's fun to drink them, to enjoy them slowly. Yeah, sip by sip, not too much, because it goes directly to the bloodstream, and then it gets a sugar spike if you drink it too fast. So drinking it slowly and That does it, yeah. And you know, this kind of fasting, I can also slow it down if I eat a little bit in between. I have an apple, or maybe I just drink a smoothie or so with a fiber, or a soup, a light soup or a light salad. I still have fasting. I still reduce my calories, but it slows down a little bit if the cleansing gets too fast. Yeah. You feel it, yeah, you feel it. Simply feel great. That's the recipe for having a good food. It has to feel great. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. If you like my video, subscribe at MD Vegan on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day, and find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. And there is even a Facebook page for the Tree Yoga Moon Fasting. This method, Gentle Juicefasting, is also called Tree Yoga Moon Fasting. Comes from my yoga style. Living in the flow, living a non-violent life. And that is called, and you can, Tree Yoga Moon Fasting, you can go there and be a member, and also look at the recipes there. All my juice recipes are there, with a moon calendar for the best fasting days, but most importantly, I would say once a week and forever. Thanks for watching. See you soon.